we are back from Havana, Cuba with a very special report for SGMD. You know, I've been taking a close look at heart disease for some time now, and I can tell you that the American culture, and especially the American diet, has been exported to just about every country in the world, and they're starting to pay the price. Heart disease is the biggest killer in the United States of men and women alike, and now they say about 1 in 3 American adults has some version of it. What I think is so remarkable is that we know that with no new money spent on heart research, no new resources, no new breakthroughs, right now we could have a shot at virtually eliminating heart attacks. Sounds pretty remarkable, I know, but think about it for a second. For example, take a look at the food that you eat. Think about that. Now think about it again. Sharon Kintz is 66 years old, a retired private investigator from Canton, Ohio. A year ago, she had a heart attack after one of her coronary arteries became completely blocked.
He said, for someone who had what you have, the only warning you usually get is death. And at that point, I really knew how lucky I was.
Like a lot of women, Kintz did not experience the classic chest pain, but rather fatigue and a pain in her jaw.
He said, you're going to have open heart surgery. He says, I can fix you today. I can just take you right down to OR and I can operate on you right now. My son was in there and he was ready to wheel me down to the operating room because he is frantic. You know, it's terrifying.
What Kintz did next may surprise you. She turned the surgeon down cold, said no to open heart surgery, and decided to take a chance.
I bought some parsnips the other day. Always have sweet potatoes on hand.
Using food as medicine.
I love these. These are wonderful. So I love these.
Kintz is betting her life on a controversial diet created by Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn. He's a general surgeon by training.
You have some easy-to-remember adages about how people can decide what they should or should not eat.
We know what they shouldn't eat. That is oil, dairy, meat, fish, and chicken. What do we want them to eat? We want them to eat all those whole grains for their cereal, bread, and pasta, beans, vegetables, yellow, red, green, and fruit. Now, what particular vegetables do we want them to have? Bok choy, Swiss chard, kale, collards, collard green, beet greens, mustard green, turnip greens, napa cabbage, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, cilantro, parsley, spinach, and arugula, and asparagus. And I'm out of breath.
Nothing with a mother. Nothing with a face. You can imagine the Meat, Egg, and Dairy Associations think that's a terrible idea.
Incorporating lean beef into a healthy diet can actually help you stick to a healthy diet because it's a food that people enjoy.
Eggs are a source of 13 vitamins and minerals. Eggs are the gold standard when it comes to protein.
Well, dairy foods are very nutrient-rich. You get a lot of nutrients for every calorie that you consume.
Dr. Esselstyn is not a cardiologist. He has no special degree in nutrition. But when it comes to food as medicine, he's a true believer.
She had a heart attack.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know, Sharon.
Oh, yeah.
Doctors recommended she have an intervention. She's not doing it. Is there a downside? Could she be putting herself at risk?
No. I think that's an excellent question. In hundreds of patients, data now going back over 20 years, and this most recent study about a decade, once they start eating this way, you'll make yourself heart attack proof.
Heart attack proof.
We know that if people are eating this way, they are not going to have a heart attack. It's a foodborne illness. And we're never going to end the epidemic with stents, with bypasses, with the drugs, because none of it is treating causation of the illness.
I was curious about the science behind Dr. Esselstyn's claims, so I dug up some of these peer-reviewed journals. They're small, just a handful of patients, but the results are pretty impressive. In one study here, patients on the Esselstyn diet and cholesterol-lowering medication had no heart attacks, had no coronary events of any sort after 5 years. And 3/4 of these patients actually saw their blockages get smaller. A year after her heart attack, Sharon Kintz says she feels great. Check out those moves. A year ago, simply walking was enough to wear her out. With the diet, there's one question you have to ask. Can she keep it up?